Happy New Year, everybody. Sorry for not being here last Wednesday. The depression got the better of me, and I slept through what would have been the show, let alone the time to get everything working or get the stories together and have a conversation about it. So, but we're here tonight, and tonight I have a special guest host. That is Mama Recoil, the mother of actual DV Recoil, who's hopped on here from time to time and added to our insanity from once in a while. Mama Rico, why don't you say hi to everybody?
Hi guys. How's everybody doing?
Hopefully they're doing well. Mama Rico, you are a nurse by trade.
Yes, I am a registered nurse. I actually went to back to school later in life.
That's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, about 12 years now. So,
Nice,
yeah.
well done. Thank you for sticking your neck out, because a lot of the work that nurses and doctors and paramedics, they're just unsung heroes of what's been going on the last couple of years in this world.
Yeah, they're really getting some crappy treatment. But they'll pull through, and I thank all of you guys for your service. We wouldn't be here and wouldn't have the freedoms that we have without you guys. I
We appreciate
appreciate you guys very much.
we appreciate having support like from family members and friends through the things that we do as veterans and actual active duty members of the military. And we're going to start on a sad note again. Well, let me find where I'm at. There we go. The oldest World War II veteran has passed away in New Orleans at the young age of 112. Mr. Lawrence Brooks um, served in the 91st Engineer Battalion and spent, I want to say, 4 years on active duty service in the Pacific. He never actually saw combat, but where he and his unit were stationed, almost on a daily basis, they were getting strafed and bombed by the Japanese. As in being an engineer unit, they build bridges and other things like that. He never had a cross word to say about anybody. When people asked him, because during this time of our country, we still had segregation and Jim Crow laws and things of that nature. He was always on the bright side of everything. He never talked bad about his commanding officers or anything like that. His commanding officers were white, but just a phenomenal human being, and we hope he rests in peace.
Amen. Yeah.
112 years, I can't even fathom that.
I I can't either. That's amazing.
Um, he was a local celebrity in New Orleans. His birthday parties were thrown at the World War II Museum. I mean, just for his 112th birthday in September of last year, because of the COVID, the celebration was a drive-by party in front of his house.
Oh,
And they're saying he was dancing on his porch, being serenaded by the museum's singing trio, the Victory Bells, and had a military flyover banked down his New Orleans house.
that is awesome.
I mean, I get goosebumps thinking about things like that. It's just
Can
really,
you
really something that stands out in my mind is what we should be doing for veterans and treating them, because they are these heroes.
absolutely, absolutely. Can you imagine how good that must have made him feel
Oh,
to be recognized in that sense? That people made a big deal about him.
Oh yeah, I mean, it kind of blows my mind. I mean, and he's a very simple man. I mean, I mean, when he wasn't, building stuff, or whatever his job was, he was a driver for his commanding officers and a cook, and you know, I think they stationed him in Australia. Well, he'd grown up in the South in Louisiana and Mississippi. Well, he got over to Australia, and there was no such thing as segregation there.
Right.
There were no Jim Crow laws. He could walk down the street and talk to people, and he's eating in restaurants with people of different colors. And it was a normal thing to them. So, but he never, like I said, he never talked bad about anybody or anything. So there was, I give him kudos for that.
I think you figure the era of when he grew up um, probably had a lot to do with. And your parent, of course, you never know what his parents might have been like.
Right.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
you
my
know
mom, my mom taught me when I was little. You can't say anything nice; just don't say anything at all.
exactly, exactly. And unfortunately, I, and I've said this before on the show. Racist is not the proper term for what these idiots call somebody with a different skin tone or a different ethnic background, because we are all Homo sapiens,
That's right.
and that is our race. The first time I enlisted in the Army back in 1988, long before most of these kids were born that watch my show and whatnot, um, we were literally, it's like, it doesn't matter what your skin tone is because you are camouflaged. If I cut you, your blood runs the same color as his.
That's right.
So shut up, and execute. I mean, that's if you get into a firefight, do you really care what color his skin is in that foxhole next to you? The answer is
Absolutely.
hell no.
Mm-mm.
A
No.
lot of these people in this country, need to kind of take that on as a mantra. Hey, Snafu, thanks for stopping in. Nice to see you. If you're, don't forget you can always chime in if you want, or you can hop over on my Discord, and you can join the chat if you'd like to. So, for some more good news, see here, the Troops to Teachers program is being forced to restart. The Department of Defense, the SecDef and his infinite wisdom decided that $15 million, whatever it was, 15 million, that is being put out every year and funded by Congress could go elsewhere. So he canceled the program due to end, I think it was this summer coming up. Well, as part of the defense authorization bill that was just passed by Congress, the program has been forced to stay alive, at least until 2025, I believe the number was. Let me scroll down here slowly. Yeah, I mean we're talking the Department of Defense, and this costs them about $15 million a year. That's nothing. Yeah, the program is good to go until at least July of 2025, because there are still a lot of veterans, active duty members wanting to get out of the military and become teachers, and this helps them with their costs of schooling and other things. And even to this day, we're still having a problem finding good teachers in schools.
It's a fact.
Luckily, yeah, luckily my kids went to some good schools, had some good teachers. No private schools; they went to public schools. But you're talking $15 million a year for this. In the Department of Defense, just the civilian pay alone is probably 10 times that on a daily basis.
can say one thing's for sure. In the state that I live in, most of the teachers are leaving because of pay.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, one of the big universities, I guess I can say where I live in Oklahoma. And it came out today that, for example, OU not having their teacher program because they don't have enough applicants.
And there's a reason. I mean, and this falls down not just to the school boards, but to the municipalities, the counties.
Mm-hmm.
They're not putting. This is my opinion. Like it or not, if you look at the budget for any individual county, you will find out how poorly they spend money on education. Okay.
Oh yeah, Oklahoma's like I want to say we're like ranked 48. I mean, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our teachers are leaving and going to Texas and Kansas because they get paid better.
Right.
Texas all paid their teachers better than Oklahoma has. So,
Oh yeah.
kind of sad.
And it, how do you get to keep how do you keep them? Well, you have to pay them, a living wage because teachers only work in most cases, 9 months out of the year, maybe
Yeah.
9.5.
I think here, the way they have a base salary and they get a paycheck the full 12 months, but they work, relatively, 9 months out of the year. But there's so many of them that say, they don't feel like even with these so-called breaks that they really get a break because they have to, do things with the classrooms. They have paperwork, all the things, and they don't feel appreciated.
And I understand that. And then let's add to it the parents that are, a lot of them are just worthless. Don't take responsibility for their children.
No.
It's like, here's my kid. You teach them how to be an adult.
Yeah.
That's not what the teachers are there for. The teachers are there to teach them what they need to know, allegedly, to, be able to get out and work and function in society. It's the parents' responsibility to teach them right from wrong, how to balance a checkbook and other things like that, which, by the way, we'll touch on a story in a bit from the Navy, which I think every service needs to have now.
Yeah, I think that should be class.
It's up to the parent to do this. I mean, I've heard stories from people who were single parents, mothers or fathers, working 2 jobs or more to make ends meet, and their children are outstanding human beings. They've joined the military, they've run for Congress in some cases. The parents just would not tolerate the youthful stupidity, with the gangs and other things like that.
I was a single mom, so I worked 2 jobs, and all of my children all graduated from high school. They are all upstanding citizens. Thank goodness. But it was tough, it was tough.
Yeah.
And I sympathize with some and circumstances, but I think if you love children and all you can do is, give them love and encouragement and teach them the good things. And you just pray that they follow that path.
Mm-hmm.
I can see where nowadays in the school systems where it's so easy to get caught up in all the crazy. It's just kind of sad to see.
Yes, snafu, recoil is upstanding, and I'm not laughing while I say that. And yeah, I don't know where they're getting $60K a year where you live. And we're not going to get into the government math of how much a soldier makes a year. Although there is talk in Congress, I don't know if there's a bill that's being put up for a vote or not regarding getting soldiers a minimum of $15 an hour. That's going to be interesting to say the least.
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Matthew, thanks for the host. I appreciate it.
Yeah. McDonald's
Oh, don't go
is
there with me.
paying employees that now? Really?
All right. I worked at
Mm,
McDonald's when I was 16 years old. I made $3.35 an hour. That was minimum wage.
yeah.
No, I could not afford my truck or the gas. I had to have help with my parents, even back in that day and age. You know, when the dinosaurs still roamed the earth.
You got a Flintstone truck, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. But I couldn't afford to pay the insurance and the payment and the gas just to be able to get around, even on a full time salary, making what is that, three, four, or 100, $120 a week before taxes.
Yeah.
It didn't work out that way. But I didn't expect to be able to make a living wage standing in McDonald's in the back flipping burgers, making sandwiches. That wasn't realistic even to me then. Why anybody would think it should be now is, brain damaged.
Well, I think it's very unfair. I mean, our soldiers go out every day, and when the call comes, they put their life on the line.
Yep.
$15 an hour? Really? Hmm.
Well, they also
No.
figure in how much it costs for housing, which they overcharge. They also figure meals and things like that.
Yeah, but I've seen some of their housing, haven't you?
Oh, I did a story on it. There's one company that's already paid out a $500 million fine, I think, and several others are under investigation because they're not doing the job that they were, contracted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that ends up causing a lot of trouble in the long run because you have people deploying and you want them to know in the back of their minds excuse me, that their families are safe back in their quarters. That there's not black mold, that if something goes wrong they can pick up a phone or send the email or whatever and it gets taken care of in a timely manner. And these things are just not happening. And hey, federal government, this is what happens when you contract everything out. Deal with it. Okay? I've lived on military bases and installations. I have seen how things work when it's mostly all done in-house. Shit works. Keep it that way. It blows my mind to see how the government has decided contracting is a better way to go in a lot of cases. They contract out civil service positions. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Because now you have a contractor doing a job that has no authority. So they can't, tell anybody to do anything because they don't work for the federal government. They work for a company that is under contract to the federal government. So if something needs to be done, they have to go find somebody that's a civil servant or active duty military or whatever to get anything accomplished. It's worthless.
I guess I always thought that the military guys were actually hired to do that. And then I heard that they contract all that stuff out, and I was like, oh, no wonder.
Oh, oh yeah. It used to be you go into the military, like when I went in, I learned a job. I managed to turn that into a career on the outside in civil service. I could have gone contracting. I chose to not go after the money, but still, I think a little more job security wise. I've had several positions that were contract, and all they did was whatever it was that was in the contract for them to do, nothing more, nothing less. So I couldn't ask them to do more, in the event of somebody's not in or whatever. I couldn't cross-train them without changing parts of the contract, which took more time than it was worth. And of course, I can't hire anybody else because either I didn't have the room for them or they didn't have the money set aside. And it was a pain in the ass, and it still goes on to this day, and I disagree with it. All right, so let's carry on. We got way off topic on that one.
Sorry.
No. This is what makes the show good. Copays for veterans' mental health care would be waived under a new rule. Somebody at the VA had a brain cell work, apparently. Right now, if you're a veteran, you're seeking mental health care. If you go to any veteran clinic or hospital, you don't have to pay a copay. But if you go outside, I don't know how this system works. I'm sorry, my allergies are really getting to me today. If you go outside, there's a copay between $15 and $50 to get help per appointment. But the VA is paying for it. But that copay still has to be paid to be seen. Honestly, I don't know who thought that was a good idea to begin with. Okay? You're talking, this is the VA. If they can't fork out that extra $15 or $50 per visit for someone that needs mental health, we got a problem in the system. That should have never been put in place.
I agree.
But apparently, they're finally gonna address that issue. And they're doing it as a way to encourage more individuals to seek help when facing suicidal thoughts. Here's an issue. Why don't you get them in there so they can be seen before they face those thoughts in some cases?
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, some people, that's what their PTSD and depression and anxiety and everything just push them to that point very quickly. But there's ways to address this earlier on. I'm talking to you, Department of Defense, to get these soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Space Force if they ever deploy, Coast Guard, in and be seen long before the VA gets their hands on them. And have a seamless transition when they depart the military and go into the VA healthcare system. Okay? There's ways to do this. Think about it.
Yeah, and there's ways to make them feel like you freaking care about them.
Oh, yeah. I have family members and friends that work for the VA healthcare system. One's a nurse. I don't know what the other one does off the top of my head. I think he's a department head now. And I'm constantly, hey, don't screw this up. It's not just a paycheck for you. This is somebody's life you're dealing with. Whether you're, crunching numbers or just putting data entry stuff in, just because you're not a healthcare worker, registered nurse, practitioner, or whatever, PA or doctor, you still have an effect on those people who walk in the building every time.
Absolutely.
And if they don't feel wanted, they don't come back. So
Customers
hopefully.
Important.
And that's the problem. A lot of people don't see their jobs as customer service oriented, and they are. Hopefully this gets panned out quickly and it gets approved, and we can, take that off somebody's plate of having to worry about paying to go get help. Excuse me, 1 second. My apologies. Okay, here's a little more stuff about, your brain set. The psychological benefits of fitness. This is a true thing. Right? If any of you have been out there, if you look at me, I'm overweight, got it, but I'm getting back into my home gym and starting to work out. And I can tell you for a fact that the days that I get in there and I do something and I'm exercising, I feel better. I have more energy. and I'm not in my mind as much as I normally would be. The thoughts that normally would cross my mind that I have to tell myself to shut up and, that's not your business, or, that's in the past, keep going. Those thoughts don't come around very often. Now, let's understand, you don't need to get a gym membership. You don't need to start running, 5 miles a day. But if you're like me, you start slow. All right. I can't walk long distances. My lower back and my legs and ankle and everything else that's gone bad is there to make sure I can't. But there are other things I can do. I'll play with my dogs. I will, do a lot of high repetition exercises. Oh, somebody hopped in the see the show. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. We're glad to have you. So it does help. All right. It helps, push other endorphins that are lacking because we're being sedentary. And if you're anything like me, most of the time you are sitting in front of your computer screens, vegetating, doing stuff, where I'm playing video games, or I'm, researching, getting ready for a show, things like that. It helps me be a little mentally sharper.
And there's lots of things that you guys can do sitting in a chair. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that, for whatever reason, back injuries, nerve problems. You can sit on the couch. You can sit in a chair. You can use like a broomstick, and raise them up above your arms. As long as you're doing something and moving something, just bring your knee, lift your leg up, as much as you can, like to touch your hand, alternate those. Bending side, it helps a lot.
Go to the grocery store and get a half-gallon container. So you like lemonade. Well, drink the lemonade, get one that has a screw-on cap, fill it with a half full of water to give you a little extra weight, and use that as a weight. Use two hands on it, lift it above your head and back down. Use the ring on it, one arm, do curls, or, shoulder, work on your shoulders, things like that. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money to do. There's a lot of small things out there, that are inexpensive, that can assist you, in getting some sort of, workout.
You just got to move a little bit. Mm-hmm. Just got to move a little bit every day. And if you can get outside and sit in the sunshine, you get the benefit of catching the vitamin D, mm-hmm. which is very important. And move your arms and legs sitting in a chair out there. You'd be surprised at what sitting outside, getting some fresh air for 10 or 15 minutes a day does for your mental state, anxiety, depression. It helps with it all.
Yes, it does. And take in the sights.
Mm-hmm.
Look around. I mean, if you've got a nice view, take the time to soak that in. Absorb that energy.
Listen to the wind blow, the trees, leaves rustle on the ground.
Exactly. So let's go over the things that they're talking about. Improved body image and improved self-esteem. Yes, if I lost 90 pounds right now, I'd be very healthy. No, 80 pounds. Higher energy levels and better mood. I can attest to this personally. You don't have to be in a gym pumping iron for 2-3 hours a day to do this. You just need to start doing something. Oh, you suck. Snefu says he gets to see bald eagles every day during the winter. Man, I want to see some.
Man.
Lucky bastard, you. Improve confidence in your abilities. Over time, you get stronger, add more water to that jug. I mean, you're not talking a lot of weight. If it's a half gallon, at most, it'll be 4 pounds. Move on to a gallon-sized jug.
And after you get finished lifting that jug, drink that jug.
Yep. Improved outlook on life and sense of accomplishment. Okay. Sense of accomplishment, yes. Being able to do more than you did last week or last month, yes, that's accomplishment. I want pictures. I don't believe you. Snafu says he sees anywhere from 20 to 30 a day. You suck.
Where's she at?
I don't know. Where are you, Snafu?
Alaska.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I
Decreased
think that's a
symptoms.
common sight
Yeah.
in Alaska.
Decreased symptoms associated with depression and anxiety. Reduction of stress and improved sleep. I wish I could agree with the improved sleep, but I can't get my brain to shut up most nights, even with the medications I'm on. So, but it does help with, dealing with stress. It will take down those symptoms of anxiety and depression and help you, kind of navigate it a little bit better, which it never hurts to try. What do you get by trying? So, there's your health update for the day. Ha. Okay. Everybody joining the Navy, or as of January 3rd, joined the Navy. You now have a 10-week boot camp. Not 8 any longer. They have kicked it up another 2 weeks because they are including some more practical training as well as life skills and professional development. Listen up, the rest of you. Army, Air Force. What they are doing is giving them more tools to prepare themselves to be part of the team. Okay? What is one major thing, and this disgusts me that the military has to do this, that children are not taught in schools anymore, but is a life responsibility as you grow up and you move out into the world, have a job, you have an income of any kind. That's no longer taught, and most parents don't teach their children.
How to manage their money?
How to manage their money. The Navy is now going to take part of time to teach these recruits how to manage their money.
I honestly think that should be a class in high school.
It used to be. I remember going through a class in school and learning how to, balance a checkbook and all this other stuff.
What was that, like economics?
Yeah, home ec.
Yeah.
Oh, Snafu's in Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah. Okay, when the river freezes, they hang around the dam to catch fish in the open water. That makes sense.
Smart birds.
Yeah, they are. So they'll spend their standard 8 weeks going through their typical phases of instruction, culminating in their battle station capstone event, which is a whopping 12 hours. We had 3 days in the Army. But instead of graduating, they move on to these other 2 weeks. Now, some of it, of course, is dealing with not identity. Where'd it go? Sexual assault prevention, suicide prevention, life skills. So, and it's sad that they have to do this, but it's a great thing that they're doing it, because having a service member that doesn't understand how to deal with their finances will constantly have them in a financial bind every month throughout their entire career. And that's not a good way for them to maintain their stress levels, when they're out to sea or when they're, downrange or whatever. So I applaud the Navy for doing this. It is something that really does need to be taught. It should be taught in school. Education Department of the United States. You're there for a reason. Do something worthwhile instead of suck a paycheck. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? most people don't understand. I mean, I remember when I got my first pay when I was in the Army back in 1988, people. My paycheck was $682, and they gave it to me in cash. Oh, yes, that lasted about a week. Yes, that's another thing, Snafu. Teach them not to buy a car at 29% APR.
Holy moly.
Oh, yeah. I Going through basic training, you have to spend a certain amount of money. It's usually a couple $100 at most. Okay. And through your advanced training, depending on how long it is, you can save a lot of money. And I taught my kid, he's my oldest, he was in the Air Force. He was security forces. Don't hold that against him. Nice kid. I told him, I says, listen, I says, while you're in, don't find ways to spend money. Okay? Don't look at it as, oh my God, I've got this money, what can I do with it? No. You see that money, go, how do I keep it? How do I get what I need, maybe a few things that I want, and save the remainder of it? That's the way you need to look at it. All right? You don't need, they're giving you food, they're giving you someplace to live. They're giving you pretty much everything you need. You don't need to spend $1,000 a month on nothing. But, I was also there to help him when he bought his first car. We got him to a good place and managed to get him, a good interest rate. I helped with some of the money down. His grandfather was able to help with some money down for the first car. And he got a nice car with a good payment and a good interest rate. It was 11%, but for somebody who had no credit whatsoever, that was a good start.
Yeah.
Fast forward 4.5 years later, he was able to walk into a dealership on his own and traded in his car and bought a new truck, or a used truck actually. And his interest rate was even lower, and he had to put less money down because now he's a good credit risk. These kids don't comprehend this. For a first car snafu, you're right, 11% was awesome. I was happy that he got that. But kids coming out of school don't comprehend these things. They don't understand what credit ratings can do for you. So things, this is all being taught now by the Navy, which in this case, I applaud the Navy for doing it. But we have failed our kids as parents and educators by not teaching them this before they get out of high school. In some cases, probably when they get into high school, it's needed because some of these kids start, summer jobs and things like that. So they need to be taught, like it or not.
Well, I can tell you, I won't say who, but you
we
can
won't say
teach.
recoil out loud.
Doesn't mean that they're going to take your advice.
No, they won't.
Some people just have to find out the hard way, but
yeah, it's I've taught my kids a lot growing up, but of course I'm dad. What do I know? I've never been there. I'm never, it's a different world.
Yep.
It's not that damn different.
But do you ever find that you hear your kids say, "You told me so"?
Yep, actually I have.
Yeah.
At one point in time, I got to a point where I called my father, and I'm sorry, Dad. All those times I didn't believe you, all those times I gave you trouble, I'm so sorry. You did a good job with me, and I took advantage of it a lot, and I know it made him feel good about it, but that's just the way life is, I had to reach out. It was just a point in time where things were going a certain way, and I'm like, holy crap, my kids are me.
Yeah.
We have to stop this.
I actually I can remember reaching out to my mom and how eating that crow pie.
Mm-hmm.
saying, yeah, you told me so, and then I used to laugh and I'd tell the kids, you're gonna tell me one of these days that I told you so. And every one of my kids have said that, including Recoil.
I believe it. I believe it. Oh, and Snafu, of course, if you have cash up front, it's always a better deal. And you know that as well as anybody.
Oh, absolutely. Cash talk.
Oh, yeah. It's like, no. And the thing is cash is pretty much the same damn thing as, getting a loan. They're going to get their money, but they don't want to barter with that. But if they got cash that they can put in the bank, they're all over that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now to some of the fun stuff. Mafia fugitive arrested after being spotted on Google Street View in Spain. An Italian mafioso has been on the run for nearly 20 years. Got caught outside a vegetable store stand in Spain. And the police were notified, and they went and arrested him. They found out where he finally was. I mean,
That's crazy.
I mean, you can see him. He's just standing out there leaning against the wall talking to people. This guy. and Google Street View comes by with cameras all on top of the car. Oh, nobody will see me. Uh-huh. How's jail doing for you these days, old man? The audacity to think that they're never going to get caught.
I don't understand the concept. I mean, today's criminals, like, there's cameras everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The porch pirates, the people that are going into stores, pulling up to ATMs and using stolen credit cards. Hello, they have your picture.
Yeah, they do.
Just big Dallas. What's wrong with you?
Well, you've got to remember the smarter the criminal, the less likely it is that they're going to catch them. So these idiots deserve to get caught.
Absolutely.
Okay. I don't want to hear about your 70 Chevelle, man. Just no. Yeah, I love you, Snafu. No, I don't want to hear about it because I'd like to have a 69 Camaro, but I can't afford it. Or a 68 Chevelle. I like that year a little better.
The days.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man. My ex-husband, Recoil's father, had a 66 fastback Mustang. It was pearl white, had flames on the front. Beautiful. 302 Boss Hood scoop. And Recoil was like, why couldn't he have kept that car for me?
Yeah, right. Those were awesome cars.
Oh,
I could. I'm sure you could build a model of one. I want the real thing. Sooner or later, I might be able to. Hi, Jet. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Happy to see you. How's your day going? I'm doing all right. So, in the world of the mafia here, another outstanding citizen has been brought to justice. Yeah. Especially with, there's so many cities who don't make it public that are using facial recognition software.
I heard they do that in casinos. I don't know if that's true, but I've heard that they do.
It depends. There are some that do because they are not large, or they're large casinos, and they have trouble tracking people. And when they'll hit a table in between dealers, a dealer that doesn't know who they are. So these people count cards, and these are smart people that are gaming the system, which personally I don't have a problem with. But the casino's going to lose big money. Hey, Rick. Well, thanks for the host. I appreciate it.
I
Um, let's
want to say
see.
that someone told me that they could like even the police departments can look at the footage and like identify
Hmm.
felony warrants and those things
Oh yeah.
and go and arrest you.
Oh, but there's nothing like the '80s police work. Okay. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in Broward County, and at one point in time, we had probably the best sheriff in the country, and I can't remember his name to save my life right now because I brought this up. They had a bunch of people with felony warrants, and you can find the video on YouTube. The They set up a trap for them where they sent them all something that they'd won a prize. I think it was a cruise or something like that. And they had to be at a specific location at a specific time. And these people showed up. Okay? Because it wasn't driving, not going to the police station. It was, like to a theater or something like that. And they had these people in there. Okay, somebody was up at the front. Yep, come on in. So we'll get started when we get everybody here. And as soon as they were sure nobody else was coming, they shut the doors and all the sheriff's deputies walked in, and you're all under arrest.
Brilliant.
I mean, nabbed all these people. It blew my mind. Okay, let me go back to my chat real quick. Well, I appreciate that, Snafu. When I'm ready, I'll let you know, which may not be anytime soon with the way things are going in my life, but I appreciate it. And see here, JC got off work, hanging out. Hey, appreciate you stopping in. I really do. I'll go have fun at Nex. Haven't been to Nex in a long time. It's the Navy's exchange. Yeah. Snafu remembers the story. It was national news. I mean, I think they got about 42 or 44 people off the streets. It was just so funny to see. These people were just sitting there, and all of a sudden, these deputies just all walk in. Stand up, turn around, put your hands behind your back.
That is absolutely brilliant.
Nobody got violent. There wasn't anything. They just up and away it went. I'm like, that's just so funny. Okay, here's our next story. Another brain surgeon hard at work in our communities. Man decorated Christmas tree with small packages of drugs and cash gets arrested.
Right.
Drug dealer in the United Kingdom decorated his tree with packages of cocaine and cash. Took pictures of it and sent it to people. Well, the pictures were eventually retrieved by police, who added them to a huge pile of evidence that they had been running on the guy for a major narcotics sting, and took him and several other people down. Enjoy the picture, everybody, of a 20-pound note with the Queen's face on it wrapped around a bag of cocaine.
My God.
I can't.
Disrespectful to the Queen.
Well, there's that, but I want to know what the thought was that told him this would be cool. He didn't get your tree recoil.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. So where are you from, JC? Yeah, this is just wonderfully stupid criminals. If it weren't for stupid criminals, we wouldn't have shit to laugh at. I'm sure Recoil's got some stories.
Where was this at? In England?
Yeah.
Recoil, you share this with your wife.
Yeah, Maryside in northwest England.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
When people start getting high on drugs, your taste in festive home design goes out the window.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, you're from France. Oh, very cool. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Yes, I am
From
Florida man. Get over it.
Did you say he was from France?
Yep. Old
Oh,
JC, he's in my chat. He's from France.
awesome.
So, but no, I appreciate you swinging in, stopping on the channel. I appreciate it.
I always wanted to go to France.
Yeah, there's several places in France I'd love to go.
But you know what? You'd have to knock me out, like hit me in the head with a big stick for about 8 hours, however fly time is, because,
That's why I carry these. You can't see me shaking my pill bottles.
uh,
I take a few of those, I wake up, and I'm fine.
Recoy tried to get me to come over to England, and like I guess it's like an 8 hour flight over
Yeah.
the pond. And I was like, I would probably be fine on a flight from here to JFK, and then I would just have to not get on the plane again because about 3 hours or so on a flight, about my anxiety starts kicking in. I got to get off. You
Yeah.
got to let.
No, I'm right there with you.
I don't know if I could fly that long, but
That's what she just said, recoil. Number one, you should have come back and flown back with her so she wasn't alone, number one. Number two, alcohol does wonders. I used to live in Japan. So
oh
from
man,
Narita Airport back to and from Chicago was roughly 11 and a half to 12 hours.
oh no.
Okay. The Narita Airport is a wonderful place. It's a very beautiful airport, very clean. Everything in Japan is very clean, except for where they're doing manufacturing. Then it's just dirty as nasty. I will have a nice meal in the airport, and then I will start drinking. And then I will have a couple of drinks before I get on the aircraft. I will have probably one or two before takeoff. And then once we get going, I might have one more before I pass out, and I will sleep for a good 6 to 7 hours.
She recoil accuses me of singing songs that I didn't sing when I have had drinks in the past. So I don't know if that would be a good thing.
Hey, whatever gets you through, that's what matters.
Oh no, they threw you off the airplane for that stuff.
Yeah, JC's apparently. I take it you are a member of the French military. So yeah, and flying doesn't bother him because he's been on a bunch of 12-hour flights. Being in France, I'm sure you've done a lot of traveling in different countries over there, which is really cool. I would love to be able to do that. Yes, Recoil says the flight goes straight from Dallas to London, and he's offered to fly here and back with you.
He's lying. Now, when he was in the military, he was over there. So how was he going to go with me? No, I had to fly over there. Now they have said they would like for me to go over there with them when they go. But here's my thing. I'm a nurse and I can't take off work, for that many weeks. I mean, I don't figure if you're going to go overseas, you don't want to take a week off, have a week off of work and go overseas. And you know what I mean?
No,
you don't have
2
time
weeks
to see.
minimum.
It's like a once in a lifetime trip for me. You know what I mean?
No, you need to take 2 weeks minimum. And JC is a member of the French Royal Army.
Awesome.
Which is really cool. I'd love to know how you found my channel. I appreciate you being here. I was in the United States Army many, many moons ago, as you can tell by the size of my neck now and the fat that it carries.
Be nice. Okay, do you see what you did there?
What?
You talk negative about yourself.
Self-deprecating humor. It works.
Yeah. We'll have to learn to speak positive affirmations of ourselves. Positivity.
Listen, I get out of bed every day. I shower. I may or may not shave, but I do my daily business. I take care of my dogs. You know, I'm working on finding ways to make myself healthier, and that's kind of the discussion we had a little earlier.
That's good.
So
So,
I'm
but
working
just
on it, but I'm still way overweight.
well,
Just call me
you know,
Jolly Fat Man.
it happens to the best of us, and I lost a lot of weight due to DIVORCE,
Yes,
but
I gained
um,
weight.
yeah, uh, I think that when you're starting anew and your recognition of changing things about yourself, that's one of the first things that you have to, in speaking positive into yourself.
It does help. And
Yes.
I literally have to tell myself sometimes where I start going downhill that, I need to stop telling myself that's not true.
Get
You
you some
know,
sticky notes and put them up on the mirror in the bathroom.
oh, if it were only that simple for me. I don't look at the mirror if I don't have to.
Well, you are in the mirror at some point to shave or whatever. You
Yeah.
just stick daily affirmations up there and read one every day, of
I
positivity.
need one of those calendar a day things.
Yeah.
Let me look into that now that I mention it. Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Just
that.
tell or tell Recoil to I can start putting one and send it to you in a text or something. I do it
That'd
every
be
day.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, snafu, it's not just a number, and size is not just a shape. All right, because the last time I got this heavy, my dumb ass, and it was my depression that really got me. I was drinking well over 4 liters of Mountain Dew a day, not eating
Dang.
healthy at all. Yeah, and I actually was diabetic. I
I
was a type 2 diabetic at the time.
You had to be. Di-
I
Mountain
got
Dew's
hospitalized because I had an earache, and the idiot doctor I went to, not a VA doc, gave me prednisone, which is steroid. And you start with the 6 pills, and the next day you go to the 5 pills, and
uh-huh.
well, prednisone will take your blood sugar
Yep.
and skyrocket it. Okay.
Yep.
Luckily for me, I'm a goofy idiot when my blood sugar was out of whack. Because there are people that get mean and nasty. I get goofy and stupid. I went to the ER, and the machine that they had went up to 500, and they had to go do a blood draw to find out what my actual blood sugar was.
Wouldn't register. That's not good.
It was over 600.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the combination, my A1C was 9, so that's solid. I've been diabetic for a little while. It just wasn't as prevalent. And then when I took the damn prednisone, it shot it through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So, we found out whatever. Now, once they got my brain cleared out from the sugars and everything like that, I could think straight, of course. I was off insulin within 2 weeks and off of metformin, which is a pill form to help regulate blood sugar, in 8 months.
That's awesome.
And I have not had a sugary drink since.
That's good.
But, I've been in Texas now since August. I'm now kind of still getting settled out. I need to get things, in order and get myself on a schedule and do what I need to do to start shedding this weight again.
Well, Recoil, if you're still listening, or you shoot me information, and I'll send him some daily affirmations. We'll get you feeling good every day.
I appreciate that. Okay, and now, my registered nurse, you're going to love this final story of the night.
Oh, Lord.
Stupid human beings extraordinaire. Former reality TV star Stephanie Matto hospitalized after trying to fart too much.
What?
Yes, she found a market for people that were willing to purchase her farts.
Oh,
She
my God.
was able to sell them for upwards of $1,000 a jar.
Seriously?
The problem was the demand was upwards of 50 jars a week. And she ended up having, I would say, angina, more than likely. She thought she was having a stroke because she had been eating nothing but high fiber diet of beans, eggs, protein shakes. The day she went to the hospital, she had 3 protein shakes, a huge bowl of black bean soup, just so she could fart more.
Oh my!
Yes, JC, we have stupid people here in America too.
You know, I mean, I guess if this is in the market, why, you could get fart spray in a bottle and spray it in the. Who's going to know?
Well, think about this. If she was making $1,000 a jar, selling 50 jars a week, that's $50,000 a week.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I could hook some people up, but I don't look as good as her.
Friends fart in a jar.
I didn't know there was a market for these things.
This jar for me? I mean, who would know? That's crazy. I don't know. That ain't right.
Yeah. I mean, that just blows my mind.
I mean, kudos to you, Chicky Poo, making that kind of money. But, I mean, I would have bought some fart spray in a can. I'd have said, hey, fart in this for me. Who's going to know? I mean, no one would ever know.
I want to know who the first person was that contacted her and said, listen, will you fart in a jar? I'll pay you. Now,
I've had people, weird requests, from people on Facebook, message me and asked me if I could take a picture of my feet for them.
Mm-hmm.
What? No, I'll pay you. Whatever. I am not taking a picture of my foot for you. He actually offered me like $300 for a picture of my foot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
$300 to have a picture of your foot? No identifying marks? Do it.
I was like, oh, is this really a thing? And then come to find out, apparently, it is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why it would be. I don't know. People can have pretty feet, I guess, but there's nothing. I'm not going to look at somebody's foot and say, yeah, that turns me on. you know what I mean?
There's a woman that married a carnival ride a few years ago.
What?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I forget where it was. But she was in love. She fell in love with a carnival ride and married it.
Oh, I've heard it all now.
I weep for the gene pool. The upside is they won't be able to procreate.
It'll make me start laughing and I'll start crying for the gene pool.
I am a wealth of stupid information. I mean, it blows my mind to think. I mean, a woman married her husband's ghost in, I think it was India. Where did he sign on the paperwork? Let's go one better. You're already married. He's just not living. How do you get remarried?
Yeah.
What kind of drugs are you using? You need to share. I won't feel alone then. That'll be a good thing.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Another one said, JC says he saw this one, and it was even better that she said she was dating a private jet, but it didn't work out because he traveled too much. That's funny.
She said what?
Because apparently the jet traveled too much, so it didn't work out.
Oh. Well.
People are stupid.
I don't know. I've decided at this point in my life, I just want a sugar daddy. Now wait a minute.
Well, you're not going to be dating me.
Daddy without, you know, I mean, I don't, there's no benefits there. The benefit of he can do whatever he wants to do, just send me a check.
Yeah, no. You're not getting that out of me, that's for sure. There's some quid pro quo that's got to go on.
I just want to share Daddy.
A little companionship, cuddle now and again,
Well, I mean, something like that. You know,
We all have to have our standards.
you can find these rich men that just want you to talk to them.
Yeah, none of them want to talk to me.
Well, you never know. You'd be surprised what you might find as far as women goes. You might find a wealthy woman that's just lonely, just wants someone to talk to.
That's true. And
pay you to talk to her. You might have to use your sexy voice once in a while, but
sexy voice. This is the voice you get.
Well, and that's what I say. They all say, "Can you talk dirty to me?" Well, this is it, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
When you talk dirty, yeah, I got mud on my car the other day. Dogs need a bath now. What else you need to hear?
Yeah, I need to take a bath now.
Yeah.
Well, this is really blows my mind. I don't know how you found that, but yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, you can ask Recoil. I have skills in research. I was an intel analyst in the Army, and I learned how to research stuff.
So is this like really in a newspaper somewhere?
Yes, actually. This one it was all over the place. This one's out of I don't know. NDTV. I don't know where it is, but I saw it on Facebook as well, so it's local too in the U.S. I think this one is actually out of India. Yeah, this one's out of India, but she's an American. Huh?
What's in the jar she's holding?
I have no idea, and that kind of scares me because farts are invisible.
Exactly.
I think a little more than a fart came out in that one. She may have moved her bowels inadvertently.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yes, yeah.
No.
Oh no, being an intel analyst is boring shit.
Huh?
I'm talking to JC. He's like, he always thought about being some kind of an intel analyst. He thought it'd be pretty interesting. Don't get me wrong. There's some cool stuff you find out that you can never tell anybody. But a lot of times it's boring. It's, plotting stuff on a map, doing research, making PowerPoint presentations, things like that. I had some good people I worked with. I had a lot of fun when I was in the military. I was able to turn it into a career in the civil service side for the government when I got out. But there's more fun things to be had in the intelligence community than being an analyst. So,
I just want to listen. I just want to listen.
Listen to what?
Conversations.
Well, you need to be a therapist. That's what you need to be.
No. Well, I don't know if you know what I do, what area I work in now, but I do case management, but it's with behavioral health. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I talk to therapists all day, every day.
Yeah, I'm always worried about just talking to a therapist on a normal basis and worried they're, evaluating me all the time.
That's what I said, and I love them dearly, but I tell them on a regular basis, stop analyzing me.
Yeah. Let's see here. JC says he's a combat medic, so boring as shit is what he's looking for. Well, if you can transfer over, you'll get it. But it's also a different world from what you're used to doing. And I mean, if you're looking for a career after you get out, you're more likely to get it, but you're not going to be in that field where you're helping people face to face like you would be doing now. And yes, Snafu, you can claim I do know PowerPoint, death by PowerPoint. I have created several of those, and I'm very good at it. And no recoil. I have no idea. He's trying to pull that. How much were the 45 rounds during the Civil War crap again on my stream? One of these days, I'm gonna look that shit up just to fuck with him. So, with that, I have no more stories. At least not that I've researched. I do appreciate everybody stopping in and interacting. JC, I'm on 2 nights a week for the most part. Okay, so JC wants to pursue medical career once he gets out and wants to stay with medicine. And yeah, I can understand that. You're going through a rough spot. Everybody has those. You know, just...
Is he just you said he's a medic?
Yeah, he's a combat medic. So probably like a physician's assistant when he gets out.
Did they send them to school?
Oh, yes.
Tell him to go be a doctor.
Yeah, I don't know how it works.
I mean, I don't know about
military, but no, if you have the opportunity and they're willing to pay, you know, if you have the time, you know, start working on your requirements for, you know, surgeon or anything else.
I can tell you that. Well, I don't know what their market is over there, but over here,
hey, recoil, you're going to catch a timeout.
Cardiovascular or neurosurgery is the big buck, if that's what you're interested in.
He does want to be a doctor. So, I mean, if you have the time and the ability, you know, you need to start the schooling now. If nothing else, get the electives out of the way.
Absolutely.
Because most of those are a little more flexible than the hardcore, you know, doctor type stuff. And you've got to get through all that.
Ask him what their requirements are to become a doctor in France. Like how many years of school?
You can ask him. He can hear you.
Oh.
Snafu did not make you do that, recoil.
Well, I can't see the chat, so I don't know what they're saying. So
okay. Yeah. Let me see here. I don't know. I don't think I can. I'd have to switch over to...
It's okay.
Change the window to... Wait, which one is it? Standby. Oh, crap, they closed. No. It's going to be a little small, but down here.
Well, I can see you now.
Okay. He wants to be a civilian doctor.
Civilian doctor. Okay. I want to go be a family physician, which would be 11 to 12 years of school. Ooh. You need to come to the United States.
Yeah. Do they not have programs?
Only 8 years. 8 years here.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's with your schooling and residency.
Do they not have programs for the transitioning military that they give you certain credits towards your school because that's in the field that you want to go into?
I would think that high man service should give him some credit, but like I said, it's France. It would here, but
yeah, different country. I don't know how they do that. You know, here in the U.S., you get a certain amount of credits for your basic training and your advanced schools towards a degree. And if your degree is in what your job was in the military, they tend to give you more.
Yeah.
So,
In the United States, you can become a doctor of osteopath, a DO. You can do that in 6 years. You can be an MD in 8 years. Nurse practitioners, I don't know, about 5 years, I think, a nurse practitioner.
oh, JC applied for a grant and they accepted, and they're going to pay for about 6 years of his schooling.
That's
Really
awesome.
cool. Well, I suppose you could apply again when the time comes, as you're getting near towards the end of that. Maybe something. You know, there may be some hospitals that are willing to pay for your schoolwork while you are employed by them.
Mhm.
Things like that you could look into. Excuse me. There's I'm sure they have many routes like we do here in the U.S. To get you through. Well,
I,
obviously you're not that smart, Recoil. You joined the Air Force to be an engineer.
Actually, Recoil is pretty smart now. Uh, when he used to apply himself, he doesn't tell people, but he used to be in gifted and talented program classes.
Ah,
Yeah. He doesn't talk about it, but he used to be. But, as he got older, it wasn't the cool thing to do.
right.
So,
He's torpedoed himself.
yeah. Yeah.
I see a lot of kids do that. I'm not going to
Yeah.
say my name.
But he probably, if he would have continued on the path that he was once on, I think he could have absolutely been a doctor.
Oh, now that would be cool. JC says when he gets back home, he's going to uh, he's he's taking a test to be a commissioned officer, and if he passes, they'll send him to school to get his bachelor's, which he will do in nursing, and then use his 6 year grant to go from there. Smart. That's a damn good way to do it.
Absolutely.
Run with that, man. Don't give up. You know,
We wish
you're
you the
still.
best of luck,
Oh
for
yeah.
sure. Deep
Okay,
recoil.
um, Recoil, you can't use the R word.
Yeah, that's
Try typing
not
that out without the R word.
you goofball.
No, I applaud you, JC, for stepping out and pushing the envelope, because a lot of people don't have that desire to step up and do these things. And it sounds to me like you got a pretty good plan in place. So a bachelor's degree will be 4 years, so you're at,
And
with
then
the
they do
grant should put you
first
around
year.
10.
Yeah, that'd be
So
good.
that puts you right where you want to be, and then because that some of that time is your residency, which you don't pay for. So good on you, most definitely.
You
All
don't
right.
even know what devil's lettuce is, so I don't even know why you aren't you supposed to be on an anniversary date or something?
Yeah, right. Shouldn't you be with your wife, you moron? It's anniversary. Trust me, I wasn't even talking to my kids.
And yes, Snafu, he used to be pretty smart. He still is. He just
He plays
doesn't.
dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Better for ratings.
He said we're in bed.
That she should be beating the hell out of you for typing into this and doing this. Don't
She's
get me
probably.
wrong. I enjoy. Oh yeah, not in my world.
She's, that's why I
I
said she's asleep. I said she's probably asleep.
be like, no, she has the day off tomorrow. She ain't
There's,
sleeping.
I don't know. She worked all day today, so she might be.
Uh,
That is one woman that can sit in there. You could be talking to her, and she just go to sleep.
Well, that's rude.
She did it to me all the time.
That's when I
Maybe
drop something heavy on the
mother-in-law.
floor. Bam! Whoa, what was that? Oh, you're awake. So,
Oh, he said she works tomorrow.
yeah. Well, there's worse things that could be going on. But at least you guys got out and did some stuff. Hey, thanks for the follow, JC. I appreciate it.
That's
We're
awesome.
we're literally at the end of my show. I don't have a problem hanging out with you and talking if you want to talk some more. But I'm on. I'm not sure where you're currently located, and I don't want you to dime yourself out. But I'm on Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. or 2100 hours Central Time in the United States. You're more than welcome to hop in anytime. You know, you know, you ride with us, and we can talk about stuff, and you can give us your insight because you have a different perspective on the news in some cases than we do, and we would love to have you again. Oh, Cattleman's. Yeah, your pocketbook is empty.
Oh, and then the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you get her drunk?
No, appreciate it. Would love to have you here. And if you have the ability, type in exclamation point Discord, and you can hop into my Discord, and we can actually have a conversation if you have the ability to do that. So, but it's great to have you here, and I appreciate you. Same with you, Recoil. Same with you, Snafu, and of course, Mama Recoil. Great to have
Thank you
you on
for
tonight.
having me. Thank you for having me. I had a good time.
See, it's not always that bad, and I don't pick on, people I respect. Right, Decoil? Um, Cattleman's is a high-end steakhouse. It's not as rich as going like Ruth's Chris, but it's still up there.
It's a nice steak place.
Yeah. So.
Nice bill they give you at the end.
Of course.
Especially in this day and time.
Oh yeah, I remember years ago I took a ex-girlfriend to Ruth's Chris. Now don't get me wrong, it was probably the best steak I have ever had in my life.
Where was this at?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Oh, okay.
Um, I think the bill was we had a steak, a couple of sides, and a bottle of wine. With the tip was about $140.
He said their bill wasn't even $80, and they had fillets.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's not bad actually for two people.
No, Nafu, it's not. It's a lot than Texas Roadhouse.
Oh no, it's yeah. You want to dress nice. Yeah, you want to put on your good cowboy boots to go to that place.
Yeah, it's a nice place. Fancy dining. Well, as far as fancy can be in a cattleman's atmosphere, but if you're from Texas, they can dress pretty nice.
Yes, they can.
In jeans and boots and a shirt. So.
Yeah, I've got a nice shirt I can wear.
I'm kind of fond of George Strait myself.
Yeah, not me.
That's my next ex-husband. I've said that for years.
Who was it? Jessica Biel, I think for a long time I said was going to be my future ex-wife.
My stepdad was a truck driver, and I used to go with him a lot to Houston. And where is it that George lives at it's right outside of San Antonio. What is it? San Marcos or something like that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Right outside of San Antonio. Anyways, he took me over there, and we went by his house, and I said, let me out of the truck. And he said, no, you can't do that. I said, I was lay in the driveway. And he said, what are you going to do? Just lay in the driveway till the bus comes back to Yeah, absolutely. I'll just lay here and wait on his bus to show up. He has a beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not yeah. That's borderline stalking, but you know.
Well, I mean, I was very young back in my rodeo days.
Oh, I'm sure. There's days when you could look at it and go, doesn't that hurt his back? And it's
You can
really sad. You find
I used to barrel race.
okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I was never that country.
I'm pretty hicky.
I was born in born in Florida, South Florida, and raised in South Florida. So I'm from a place that's actually so far south, it's really north. So there's a conglomerate of things to do, from Cuban food to rodeos to everything else. But I've had literally, as you can tell, I have no accent.
You think I have an accent?
You got a touch of one, yes, you do.
Let's just say I'm just a little bit north of Reba McEntire.
I was gonna say that's kind of who you remind me of.
Yeah.
Oh no. Recoil rode a bull once, he says, never again. Really? Was it mechanical? And how much alcohol was involved?
No, it was real.
No.
I think, weren't you in Alamogordo when you did that? And if there was a lot of alcohol involved, if it was in Alamogordo.
Oh yeah, it was. You see, I have no business being on the back of 2,000-pound anything other than, no. I might ride a horse. Well, not anymore, but I've ridden horses in the past. But I'm not dumb enough to get on a bull with its nuts strapped to its ass and hope for the best. Yep, there it is, the 5th of Jack.
There you go. Was it an Alamogordo recoil? Because when he did an Alamogordo, I mean, he volunteered on the fire department, and those guys, the volunteer fire people, he was hanging out with them. They're all nuts.
Oh yeah.
And this is why he was talked into these things.
He said, yeah, it was in Alamogordo. If we get on Facebook, look up Fire Department Chronicles. He does some really funny stuff.
Fire Department Chronicles.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got some hilarious stuff that he does. And it's from an EMS, fire department standpoint, things you don't want to hear your paramedics say when you're in the back of the vehicle. Stuff like that.
Ah. I'm looking him up.
What cartoons are you talking about, Snafu? Oh, I bet you went higher than 15 feet. You came down twice as hard.
Now we know what's wrong with you.
Yes, he didn't say he didn't land on his head, so there's that.
That's debatable. I'm sorry. I didn't drop him, so.
Too drunk to care? I'll believe that. Oh, I'm not about to get my ass on the back of a bull. No way. I know better. So. All right, everybody. We're going to call an end to this. Mama Recoil, I so greatly appreciate you stopping in and being my co-host for tonight. I hope to have you back again.
I would love to. I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
And everybody, don't forget Veterans Crisis Line. It's always up at the top of the screen. If you need to, please reach out and talk to somebody, text them, reach out to a battle buddy. You know, we want to have you here. There's no reason not to be. So, recoil, stay off the bulls, and don't drink that much again. You'll be fine. And with that, everybody, take care of yourself. Take care of everybody around